Is your glass half full or half empty? I'm Margarita and Mindset Matters. Well, there currently seems to be an argument about half full and half empty. And originally, I guess it was just, are you a pessimist, being half empty, or are you an optimist, being half full? But I heard a story about a little boy saying, well, just refill it. And I like that. We have the choice to refill it. However, it is true that with being humans and having 80,000 odd thoughts a day and 80% of them being negative, that it's really tricky to stay on the positive. And we often find ourselves going down the rabbit hole of negativity. And that, of course, is the low vibration. And that is the lack of vibration, isn't it? So this week, I'm going to share with you an exercise to focus on the good, focus on gratitude, while holding the image in your mind with an optimum of things go well for me. Even when you believe you are experiencing, as Abraham Hicks calls it, contrasts. And don't we all experience the contrasts? You and I have been in the midst of contrasts where it didn't go well according to our preconceived ideas of the outcome we were expecting. However, growth is so much easier to accept if one of our values is growth. So I am doing so much growing as you experience all of these contrasts. Celebrate it, laugh at it. Life is a game, as Florence Scovel-Shinn says. So we dictate our power to live our lives through the creative power of thought. We can learn to tune into our gut feeling, the infinite, as we experience life. And the better we get at that, the better it becomes for us. So now, not now, but in a minute, we're going to do an exercise with numbers, and I'll ask you to choose a number from one set as I say them, and you'll finish up with 4 numbers. So when I say 1, 2, 3, you will choose a number from that set. Likewise with 4, 5, 6, choose a number from there. 7, 8, 9, again, choose a number. 10, 11, 12, and again, choose a number. So you will end up with 4 numbers. Don't labour, just choose one. Where does your energy guide you to? So let's go. Numbers are 1, 2, 3. What are you going to choose? 4, 5, 6. Which one is calling you? 7, 8, 9. Again, just circle the one that pops into your head straight away. 10, 11, 12. And so now you should have 4 numbers to participate in the Optimist's Creed by Christian D. Larson. So why are we doing this little exercise over 7 days? Because we need to build repetition. We create a habit through repetition. And I'm just giving you the challenge, a 7-day challenge. You can do a 30-day challenge, but 7 days is a good start. Okay, so over the 7 days, with the numbers that you've chosen, say to yourself, I promise myself. And if you chose number 1, this is what you're looking at. To be strong, so that nothing can disturb my peace of mind. And that's really, that was my first number when I did this exercise, 1. To be strong, so that nothing can disturb my peace of mind. Because my goal was far beyond my current circumstances. And when I looked at my current circumstances, this little voice wanted to say, oh, who are you kidding? But yes, so stay strong in your mind that nothing can disturb your peace of mind. So if you chose number 2 from that set, it's to talk health, happiness, and prosperity to everyone I meet. So, you know, we're guiding ourselves to stay focused on the positive, not to go down those rabbit holes. And how easy is it to be drawn into a conversation and head down that rabbit hole of negativity? I know from my own experience, it is so easy. So no more complaining, no more ain't it awful, no more did you hear, did you know? Stay focused on positives. That's talking about health and happiness and prosperity, things you want to achieve. And if you chose number 3 from that first set, I promise myself to make all my friends feel that there is something good in them. And by doing that, you are also doing that for yourself. How many times do you compliment your friend and uplift them and make them feel good? Yeah, that's just something to be tuned into and be aware of. All right, from our second set of numbers, number 4, I promise myself to look for the good in everything and make my optimism come true. So not only, in the number 3, where you're looking for good in your friends, but now in everything, in every situation, I get to choose to look for the good of what's missing. And how many of us do that without thinking? I know when a contrast comes into my life, my immediate reaction is, and go down a rabbit hole of negativity. And I'm just learning now to say, well, this is a contrast. What is there in this to teach me? What am I learning from this? And I'm looking deep for the treasure there that's obviously going to teach me something. So number 5, I promise myself to think only the best, to work only for the best, and to expect only the best. Now, for some of us, that's pretty hard because I was brought up, my mother, God bless her, would say, well, you can't have everything in life. But if you listen to Abraham Hicks and Florence Scovel Shinn and all of those people out there, you are conditioned, you can be reconditioned to expect the best, to have more. So we're not expected to do this perfectly. No one does. We're humans. We're talking about trends. We're talking about changing our habits. We are reminding ourselves that we're building over the next 7 days a higher vibration of optimism, welcoming good in my life, believing in the good, trusting in the good, expecting the good. We want to catch those thoughts of this going to be a challenge, this is hard, before they become a reality for us. And I love this. Wayne Dwyer would say, what if it's not hard? So, when you catch yourself saying, this is hard, this is a challenge. What if it's not hard? What if it's not a challenge? What if it's not impossible? And immediately the mind opens up and the doors of opportunity also open up. So number 6 in that second row, 4, 5, 6, I promise myself to be just as enthusiastic about the success of others as I am about my own success. To rejoice in this, it's getting my tongue twisted around this, to rejoice in the success of others, even when I don't have it. So, for example, being single and seeing a lovely elderly married couple, even a young married couple, walking down the street hand in hand, obviously so in love. If you haven't got that, appreciate and enjoy what they have. And that's, you're sending that out there, the vibrations, and the vibrations will come back, and the universe will, in its own way, send it back to you. So number 7, I promise myself to see the mistakes of the past as learnings and press on to even greater achievements of the future. This is just past learnings. And Thomas Edison is a prime example of that, isn't he? He did 10,000 failures as people saw it, but he said, they're not failures. It's just feedback to me. So they're not failures, they are just feedback. Number 8, I promise myself to wear a cheerful countenance most of the time and give every living creature I meet a smile. In Bali, apparently the religion there is you wake up and you give gratitude. When I wake up in the morning, I make sure that I have 10 gratitudes. Thank you for the breath that breathes in me. Thank you for this glorious, unique day. But in Bali, they do it more symbolically with something like a banana leaf and a candle and perhaps a piece of fruit to physically give gratitude for this day. What a great way to start the day. So, either 10, 5 gratitudes before you even get out of bed, or a symbolic gesture. Number 9, I promise to give so much time to the improvement of myself that I have no time to criticize others. Go on a complaining fast. See how many times you can catch yourself. Whoops, that's going down a rabbit hole. And I remember Abraham Hicks saying, you know, there were some things in my life that I really had to change coming out of a divorce and to stop thinking down that negative rabbit hole. And she would say, which was really very helpful at the time, you're not going to change and stop it overnight. It's always going to be there. But you will catch it quicker and be able to stop it quicker. And I thought, wow, that's really important because I wasn't able to completely stop it. All right, number 10. To be too large for worry, too noble for anger, too strong for fear, and too happy to focus on the presence of challenge. Now, that takes us back to there's my goal and my dream, and this is my current situation. But if we can focus more on what's happening and feel that feeling right now in this space of time, then that pushes that negativity and the challenge of the current situation away. There's always going to be a challenge or a contrast, but we get to choose. We get to choose to focus up there and feel now what it's going to be like to be up there. And for me, I'd like to go on a trip. That's my goal. And so I'm focusing on how I'm going to be feeling when I'm actually on that trip. So, number 11, I promised myself to think well of myself and to proclaim this fact to the world, not in words, but in attitude and deeds. And people will notice. It's not like living a Pollyanna lifestyle. It's just, you know, focusing on that, disregarding what is here and having your whole being filled with joy. And it emanates. There's a radiance, there's a glow. And actually, I can speak from experience about that because as my life began to change, people made a comment, would make a comment as to what had happened. And, you know, physically around me, nothing seemed to have changed, but inside it had. So, number 12, to live in the faith that the whole of life is for what I would love, giving unending support so long as I am true to the best that is. I have to be on the vibration of my dream, not blaming others, not blaming my past, but accepting full responsibility, focusing there, disregarding this is only what it looks like on my way to there. So here we go. I love my life and I enjoy sharing these moments with you. The power to create a life you love is in your hands. I'm Margarita and Mindset Matters.